Tell you what, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly is also clamping down on restaurants that are operating under insanitary conditions. Well, some notice were given to some Chinese restaurants and other restaurants here in Accra. Now, what we're also hearing from the AMA is that some of these restaurants are operating under bad conditions, and that of the chop bars and those food joints you find outside, which they clamped down on Thursday. They are operating under worse conditions. So we'll try and look at the difference, between worse and bad as far as the AMA's activities on these chop bars and restaurants are concerned. But one issue that you need to look out for is the fact that the Institute of Democratic Development and Empowerment Center is suing the Accra Metropolitan Assembly over recent demolition exercise. And you all know that the AMA had already embarked on several operations to clamp down on chop bars operating under insanitary conditions. You also heard of the fact that residents living along Mensa Guinea, they had their structures demolished by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. This triggered a whole lot of concerns, not only from civil society, but even the residents then. And you also heard the fact that the local government ministry issued an order to the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to contact it before whenever they would want to embark on these demolition exercise. But I'm joined in the studio by the executive director of the Institute of Democratic Integrated Development Center, and Sami Abucha is here with me. He's the executive director. Sami, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
So you're suing the AMA.
Can I make the correction of the name, please? It's Integrated Development Empowerment Center.
Okay.
I don't want to be sued by impersonating anybody.
Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So you're suing the AMA. Where have you got into?
What we're doing is that, this is a human rights issue, so we're trying to gather all the facts in terms of human rights, and also study cases, similar cases in Nigeria and South Africa. We have written to Parliament Record Sector to get the Hansard when the government of Ghana actually signed on to these conventions, so that we can make our point.
And so you're building your case.
Yes, we
now.
are building our case, gathering the evidence.
It's not like you've gone to court.
No. We have 3 months. We have 3 months to file. Since this thing happened, we have 3 months within which we should file at the court. So we are not late at all.
Inform us again what the AMA has done to, as it were, go through the suit of yours.
No, we are thinking that eviction. We are not against eviction actually, but you see, the issue is that don't allow the people to settle in the first place. That is the fundamental. Don't allow the people to settle at a place that is not for them or not meant for staying. But if you fail to prevent them from settling and they settle finally, when you are evicting them, you have to follow the procedure, the laid down procedure.
And so you're saying that the AMA did not do
we want to see
diligence?
Yes, we want to see whether AMA actually...
But they gave eviction notices.
For 3 days?
Mensa Guinea and all.
Yes, Mensa Guinea. How many days? 3 days.
Yes.
Yes.
And you say it's not enough?
Well, the Constitution says that every public official acting on behalf of the state is supposed to act fairly and reasonable.
But there were reasons given for this demolition exercise. The nation is faced with this big crisis of, cholera killing a number of Ghanaians. Yes. The AMA says Mensa Guinea and some other, slums that we have in this country, and even chop bars, are places to look out for in terms of dealing with the insanitary conditions by which some of these cholera cases are contracted. Don't you think it is a fair basis to act on as far as the AMA is concerned?
Yeah, it is. It is. If the people are living in insanitary condition and chop bars are operating under very bad conditions, as we can see, it is the duty of the AMA to make sure that the right thing is done. But the question is...
So you admit that it's doing the right thing?
It is doing the right thing. But are you doing the right thing at the right time or at the wrong time? You understand? This chop bar operated, was it that one day, just one day, the condition under which they are operating has gone bad? Is it one day? Is it that they've been operating? How long have they been there?
Not bad. Their situation is worse.
Yeah, so
and that of the restaurants are bad.
So what it means is that the conditions were good. At the time these people were licensed or were asked to go and operate at chop bars, it means the condition under which they were operating was good, isn't it? Then over time, the condition has moved from good condition to a bad condition.
And now it's
and
worse.
Then now it is worse. You understand? So where were you? Where were you when the conditions were moving from good to bad?
But I think we've moved away from where were you to dealing with the situation we have at hand.
Yes.
Cholera is killing a number of Ghanaians here in the national capital.
Yes.
The AMA is desperate to deal with the situation. So why would you fault them when it is clamping down the activities of chopper operators operating in these unhygienic, conditions?
As I said earlier, the AMA is doing the right thing. But we shouldn't also forget that these are people who are living by the work they do. These are their economic activity. This is what they do to earn money to feed themselves and feed their children. This is what they do to feed their children and pay their school fees. This is what they do to survive as human beings. So if you are taking somebody's bread, if you are taking somebody...
But are you also not worried that these women and men operate under these conditions without knowing the dangers involved here? Are you not also worried?
Yes.
As a human rights activist?
We are worried. We are worried. All of us are worried that the condition has gone from good to bad to worse. You see, but the issue is that when you are taking bread from the people, when we are taking bread from the people, what we are telling them is that go and stay home and don't eat again and don't work. You understand? Can we... Is it possible?
But they are getting bread and getting sick.
Yeah.
You heard that woman in that report
when you go and destroy,
admitting that yes, she buys food
yes.
from the market where she works.
Yes.
And there was a point in time where she nearly contracted cholera.
Yes.
This is clearly to tell you that the insanitary conditions by which they operate has that danger. I mean, puts them in danger. And so, aren't you rather worried that they are aware of the situation they are in, but they are also not helping city authorities to bring down the number of cholera cases?
Oh, you see, the first thing is that they themselves need to know that the condition under which they are operating is bad.
Are you saying they don't know?
No, I'm meaning that
are
they
you saying
should
they don't know that they are selling wache and fufu close to?
I'm saying they should know. You heard the woman saying, you heard the woman saying that they pay the AMA to get the place clean up. Don't they pay the AMA? If at your home, at your house, if you contract somebody to be sweeping your house for you, and you wake up one day and the place is in a mess, and you have to pick the broom yourself and sweep, will you pay that person again? Will you pay that person? You will not continue to pay. But if you are paying the person to do his work and the person is not doing his work, and that same person comes to you and tell you that your place is filthy, so I'm demolishing your house or I'm demolishing the business, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
Much as we are blaming the people, let the AMA also take part of the blame and say that we have failed as an institution. This is a complete institutional failure.
And so you want the AMA to admit that one, it has failed?
Absolutely.
After that, what?
No, after that, what they are doing, the question also is that, is it sustainable? Is it sustainable? What they are doing, is it sustainable? If it is sustainable, very good. We make sure that we haven't deteriorated to this level again. Never again are we going to get to this level where bread and butter is taken away from people because of a condition that we ourselves have allowed ourselves to get into. That's why we're saying that do the right. For example, the soup and the food that were kicked about, or that we saw on tele. Is it possible for the place to be cleaned up within a day, disinfected, and cooking can start the next day? Is that possible? Is it that they are closing down the place for the people to go home and stay home, not working again? Is it these are things that we have to consider? Because when you're asking, you've closed down the place, break the pot and all those things, are you telling the person not to cook again or not to come back again? What discussions went into that?
But do you also see a balance here? Because the AMA is not only dealing with roadside food operators or chop bar operators. It is also dealing with restaurants that are also operating under these unhygienic conditions. You see any fairness here in what the AMA is doing?
No, I don't see.
Because there's a balance. I mean, not only chop bar operators, not only those that you say depend solely on that livelihood, but also those that are seen as wealthy, rich restaurants are also being clamped down.
Yeah, that is why,
So it's a holistic approach the AMA is using, don't you
Why
think so?
holistic approach using the same measurement? Are you using the same measurement? When you go to the chop bar operators at Abogloshi and so on, and you start kicking the bowls and those things with your food, you go and do that at the restaurant. You go to restaurant and give them a number of days to get their place put in order. If not, you are coming to close the place. Why wouldn't you do the same? Why wouldn't you do the same to the Abogloshi market woman? You call this fairness?
So what do you want the AMA to do? To halt these things they are doing?
No, we are not
and
saying,
fold its arms
no,
and,
we're not
and look
saying,
on
no,
whilst
we're not
many
saying,
die of cholera?
We're not saying don't do anything. But when you are doing that,
but you're saying people's livelihood are involved,
yes,
the rights of people
yes,
are involved.
Absolutely.
But it's a what do you call it? It's a whole trap. It's a whole situation that
it's
the
difficult.
AMA that has gotten itself into,
Yeah.
and it will be difficult for it to pull itself out of it.
Yes, you see, human right. You cannot detach human right from whatever we are doing. We have the economic right. We have the economic right. Everybody has the right to survive. Everybody has the right to survive. You understand? So when you are taking an action like
But you also have the right to health.
Yes, you have the right to health.
And the AMA
That is why
is ensuring that they have good health.
Because the people have the right to health, that is why they always pay the AMA to get the place clean up. Get the place clean up. You don't take the money and refuse to clean the place, and when we are all caught up in the filth and cholera, then you come and kick everybody, go home and stay home. No.
Let's go back to your suit. What are the bases per which you'd want the AMA to address some of these concerns? What are the concerns that
fairness and being reasonable? You understand? That's what we're saying, that engage the people, the alternative. If you are going to pour somebody's soup that he has prepared, use his prop for all you know, for that poor woman, that is the last capital she has to prepare the soup to sell. You are saying that he's preparing those things under unhygienic condition. Is it possible to warn that woman that tomorrow we are coming to close down this place, so don't cook anything? Let's see how we can clear the place, disinfect the place, and let's see how, with the advice from the health personnel, can this place be disinfected, put in order, so that the next day cooking can start?
Okay.
Is it possible?
Okay.
You reason up this thing with the people. Let them understand, because, mind you, in sociology, you can introduce new technologies. If you don't teach the people how to use the technology, you have not done anything. You have not done anything. You can clear all those places and so on. The people will still find place to cook and feed themselves, and sell and feed themselves. Why not teach the people? Give them the empowerment so that.
But do we have time to do this? When people
are always fire
day in
people.
and day out of cholera.
Yes, we are always
firefighting.
Firefighting. Firefighting is an attitude that we have to work towards. The AMA should not use a firefighting approach. Let's use a developmental approach to solving problems in this country.
Whilst people are dying,
you
slowly go there and educate people.
You mark it on the wall. Let this cholera issue come and pass. We will go back to sleep. AMA will go back and sleep.
And so you think
next year,
you think your lawsuit will change anything?
Next year we start this thing all over again.
Do you think
are we developing?
Do you think you suing the AMA will change anything?
Yeah, we want AMA to learn, to start using developmental approach, human right approach to development in Ghana, in Accra, in other cities, so that you know that if you are able to sustain this exercise by also engaging the people and empowering them to know to do the right thing, you sustain it. When you take tax from the people, when you take money from the people, make sure the money is used for the purpose of which it is meant. You understand? So that regularly or consistently you go to the field and supervise the people, organize training workshop for them, build their capacity, let them learn a bit about nutrition, let them learn about the environment, let us learn about conservation. Some of them are using charcoal, some of them are using firewood. The smoke and all those things is a danger to our health. Is AMA considering alternative to those practices?
Okay, let's look at how far you're going to go with this, because already the local government ministry has issued some sort of instruction to the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to seek some sort of clearance
Yes.
before embarking on a demolition exercise.
Yes.
Now, wouldn't this rather make you take a wait and see posturing?
Yeah, we would have. In fact, when I heard even though I heard it in the news, I read it in the papers, but I have not seen any written document to show that indeed the local minister has said that. When we heard the news, we were very happy because it means that the local government is listening. They knew that what has happened at Mesa Guinea was wrong. If it wasn't wrong, the minister wouldn't have issued that fiat. But, you know, it's difficult to trust the politician.
So you're still going to go ahead despite this?
Yes, it's difficult for us to trust them.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Sammy Aboche is the Executive Director for Integrated Development Empowerment Center, speaking to us here on News.